with your most questionable draft decision. What do you got?
Well, to me, it was questionable, and we said it on the air, when you're looking at the Raiders there where they ended up taking Leatherwood at 17. But this is the way the draft works, right? You have different rankings, you have different orders. I knew there was a discrepancy in the way the tackles were stacked. I had him a little bit lower. But then you come back and you get Merrick in the second round, who was my 16th overall player. So you come out of it with two players. If you had flipped it and told me you got Merrick in 1 and Leatherwood in 2, I'm like high-fiving. At the end of the day, what does it matter? You got two guys you believe are going to come in and start.
You know, DJ, we talked about this, that this would be a very volatile draft, a draft that is different than any other that we've seen because you don't have the pack mentality. How about the New Orleans Saints taking Peyton Turner? You ask some people, they would say Peyton Turner is a mid-round pick. He's a guy that plays hard, has some pass rush ability, but I don't know if he dominates like a 1. Then you talk to others, they're like, no, this guy's on the come. His best football is ahead of him. He has a chance to be a difference maker at the next level. They take him in the first round. When you look at him, he's a clone of Marcus Davenport, someone they already have. Is this a guy to replace Davenport, or is this a guy that eventually is a successor, maybe to Cam Jordan on the other side?
And what it comes down to, guys, as you know, teams have types, right? They have people that they want. But for me, the Indianapolis Colts, I kept expecting an offensive tackle, a left tackle early in the draft because of Anthony Costanzo's retirement. And to me, you don't want to move Quentin Nelson, who we're going to put a gold jacket on one day, from guard, where he's dominant on a team that likes to run the football. But they didn't address that until the 7th round with Will Fries from Penn State. But I think they're going to find their left tackle in free agency. So Chris Ballard, he's like, yeah, go ahead and criticize Davis if you want to. I'll find my left tackle in free agency and still meet the other needs that I need for my team during the draft.
I think the most questionable decision, as you guys appropriately discussed on the set day 3, was having Mike Mayock actually announce a pick. I mean, like, what had to go into that whole deal there from inside the facility in Henderson? He did a nice job, though. Way to work, Mike. Let's start here, DJ, with your biggest surprise of this 2021 NFL Draft.
Well, I was surprised to see so many Tar Heels and Volunteers, but that's another story.
Yeah, no question.
Actually, it was a good year for these guys, so I got to give them their due. There were a lot of good players. I'm going to go Elijah Moore not going in the first round was my biggest surprise. First of all, the tape was so good, and then just talking to folks around the league, the buzz had just was able to build with him late in the process where I just thought there was no chance he got out of round 1. So hats off to Joe Douglas and the Jets, as you mentioned earlier. That's a heck of a pick in the 2nd round.
Yeah, it's funny, DJ. You talk about Elijah Moore. I thought he was going to be there at the bottom of the first round. But there was another guy, J.O.K. We talked about a defender from Notre Dame ad nauseum going at the bottom of the first round because he's such a striker coming from the 2nd level. To see him fall into the 2nd round was a huge surprise, particularly in the moment. Now, when you hear about the medical concerns and those things, it doesn't matter to me because when I see him in a Browns uniform, I think they have found a menacing presence to put in the middle of the field.
And guys, for me, it's a pairing of guys because they were available in the fit. Liam Eichenberg at number 42 at Notre Dame going to the Dolphins, and at 43, Trayvon Merrick going to the Raiders. Look at what you get. The Dolphins said Robert Hunt was going from tackle to guard. Eichenberg plugs right in at that tackle position, immediate starter on the right side. And Trayvon Merrick, he's the high safety now and allows Jonathan Abram to go play the low safety, kind of like the Cam Chancellor and Earl Thomas days in Seattle for coordinator Gus Bradley.
Thought it was a little bit of a surprise seeing Peyton Turner up there at the bottom of the first round as well, going to the New Orleans Saints, but perhaps he's got the production here down in New Orleans that will turn that surprise into success.